Hello, welcome to week 3 of Get Out, Get Active 2022. I'm Dave, I'm joined again by Adam. We're going to take you through your 3 supersets and 1 core move again this week. I'll reiterate from last week, this is all for instructional purposes so that you can learn how to do the exercises. We're not actually going through the full workout as you would. So we have our weights here. We're going to do our goblet squat first. So Adam is holding the weight in a goblet position, which is the dumbbell is vertical, his hands are supporting the top part of the dumbbell, and his wrists and elbows are stacked to the best of his ability, keeping the weight close to his body. The squat position is the same, so his feet are hip to shoulder width apart, chest is lifted, he's going to bring his hips back, hinging at the hips, keeping the chest lifted as he bends his knees, slowly lowers his body through his full range of motion. With the goblet squat, very important to keep that chest lifted as Adam is doing, as to not put unnecessary stress on the back. So from the side here, you can see as Adam pushes his hips back, keeps that tall spine, chest lifted, moves through his full range of motion. Again, his range of motion might not be your range of motion, so adjust accordingly, and if you want to use your chair or your box to do your goblet squat, again, you can do this. Yeah, he just goes down, touches down. It's not taking a seat, taking a break. He's just using it as a safety net. So that is your first exercise for group 1. The next one is a plank up. Adam is going to get on his mat in a on his stomach in a low plank position. So he has this nice strong low plank position, elbow is under shoulder, hands aren't touching each other, arms are in line with, or hands are in line with his elbows, feet hip width apart. Adam is going to get up by getting on his left hand and then his right, and then he's going to lower left hand first, right hand. Now he's going to alternate right side first, down on his right. With this, if you have a tough time alternating, just do half of your reps on the left side, then switch half to your right. If we need to modify, Adam can drop to his knees and do the same thing. It's exactly the same. Right? He's able to keep this nice strong position still with his spine and move through the full range of motion, but he's not wobbling at the hips, his spine's not sagging, because he's allowed himself this modification. I'll let Adam stop because those are pretty difficult. We're going to move into our second group to just review quickly. First group, goblet squat, plank up, back to back, no breaks in between. Next, we have our Bulgarian split squat. So how Adam sets up here is he sets up in his bottom part of the position to ensure his distance. Now that he's all set up, he can stand up, and now he's ready to do his Bulgarian split squat. So the Bulgarian split squat is like a lunge, however, your feet is elevated, and you're in a split squat position, you're not going anywhere. So Adam lowers his leg as far as he can to the ground without touching the ground, and the loaded leg is the leg that's on the ground. That back leg is just a kickstand. I'm going to get Adam to show a different side here, and I'm going to get him to set up a little differently. So if his hips are too tight to start in the bottom part of the position, he's just going to take an exaggerated step out, lift his leg onto the platform, the chair, the bench, whatever it is, find his comfortable position. It might require a bit of hopping, but then he's just back into this Bulgarian split squat. You can see, chest is lifted, his spine is in line with his femur as he lunges down, squats down, and stands back up. His front foot stays on the ground the whole time as he moves through his full range of motion. Second, in group 2, is our push-up negative. So, like last week, if you're able to continue to do full push-ups, go ahead and do your full push-ups. But what we're focused on here is the eccentric part of the movement. So Adam is going to get into a high plank position, hands under shoulders, nice straight line, feet are about hip width apart. he's going to slowly lower himself down and get up without doing the push-up, so he can get onto his forearms using his knees, and then he's just going to reset into this position. And you can take this as fast or as slow as you like. The slower it is, the harder it's going to be. And the other thing that you can add to this is if Adam wants to push himself up into the push-up, but he can't quite do a full push-up, he can lower himself in the push-up negative and push himself up from a modified push-up. So he's going to drop to his knees, and then he's going to push himself up. And that's how you can gradually progress into doing full push-ups if you're not quite there yet. If the push-up negatives are hard, just do a modified push-up negative until you reach that point where you can do full push-up negatives. So that is your first group. We have our Bulgarian split squat followed by the push-up negative. Second group, I'm going to stand on this side here. We have our hamstring walk out. So Adam's starting from a standing position. He's going to crawl his hands in front of his body all the way down to his floor where he bends his legs, and then he slowly walks his body out to a high plank position, and then he's going to return all the way to standing. Very important with this that you stand all the way up before we complete our next rep, or we're going to have a lot of tension on our low back without that break in between. Again, that high plank position, all the way back to standing. Next group is our dumbbell front raise. So Adam's grabbing his dumbbells. Again, you might need lighter weight from this compared to your goblet squat. Adam's standing hip width apart again, weight in front of him, arms are slightly bent. He's going to raise the weight to his shoulders and back down. The important thing is Adam's not leaning back here, and he's not elevating the weight higher than his shoulders. So I'm going to get Adam to turn and face me, or away from me, whatever you choose. And then he's going to lift the weight. And you can see the height here. You can see there's a slight hinge in his hips, bend at his knees, and this is again to ensure that he is not overloading those joints and he can focus on the movement. So last is our most difficult core move yet. It is our hollow hold. Adam is going to lay on his back with his arms overhead, legs straight, and he's going to raise his arms and his legs to a comfortable position, the closer to the ground, the harder, to a comfortable position where he has to engage his core. So Adam's core is working overtime right now. He's reached towards his legs there. He's holding his arms straight. He's holding his legs up, and that's really causing his core to work. If we want to make it harder, we can lower the hold, even to the point where you're just floating above the floor. I won't make Adam do that today because that's hard. If you need to make things easier, what you can do is you can bend the legs and do more of a reverse crunch in your hold here. And by having those bent legs, the lever is shorter, so it's a little easier to do, a little easier on the core. So find out what works best for you there and try to hold it, for that 20 to 30 seconds, however long is comfortable for you. But those are your 4 groups of exercises. Again, there was those 3 supersets as well as the hollow hold core move at the end. As always, if you have questions, comments, concerns about the program or any of the exercises that you saw today, feel free to contact us, Adriana, or leave a comment on this video and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in week 4, the final video.